guys, what is up and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to talk through my tattoos and piercing tour. So on my Instagram and on my Twitter I put up a poll asking you guys what you wanted to see next on my channel. One of the extensions video first, so that's what you got, all about my extensions video. It's my most recent upload, and now today we're talking about my tattoos and piercings. Let's start with my tattoos because I find them the easiest to talk about. So I have two tattoos, both of them are pretty large in size, and I'm working on getting more, but like I said in my intro video and my Q&A video, I'm kind of broke, and if you want to get good work done, I value really great artistic work from tattoo artists. It costs a lot of money. So I've been saving my money so that I could get some more work done, but I'm about to graduate and move to New York, so money's kind of tight right now. So I don't know when my next one will be, but you guys will be the first to know. But we'll start with my first tattoo, which was on my leg. So I got it when I was 18. I got it a couple days after my 18th birthday. My birthday's on January the 30th, and then I got this done February 2nd. The significance of this tattoo is it's a memorial piece for my granddad. My granddad was a huge influential character in my life. He played such a big part in raising me and encouraging me to pursue my passions and be artistic and all of that. So he passed away pretty unexpectedly my senior year of high school when I was 17, and he died on February the 2nd. So on the year anniversary of his passing, I went and got this tattooed on me as a memory of him. And so the significance is there are two peony flowers, peony, people say it differently, but I say peony. The significance of 2 is that he died on February the 2nd, which is 2/2. And then the significance of the peony flowers is that my granddad always called me Angel. That was the only name I ever heard him call me. And in the South, sometimes peony flowers are referred to as angel cheeks. So yeah, I decided to get some angel cheeks on my leg, 2 of them in honor of my granddad. So as far as pain goes on my leg tattoo, it's been several years, so I don't really remember. But I will say that my thigh piece was not very painful. On a scale of 1 to 10, basically all tattooing hurts. I mean, it's all gonna hurt, but certain areas are a little easier to get tattooed than others, so I would say that my thigh piece on a scale of 1 to 10 was probably, got me, a 5. I would say that it's a 5. It wasn't awful, it was totally bearable, but it was like about 3 hours worth of work, so yeah, it was pretty raw by the end. So this is my stomach tattoo. Okay, so my stomach piece has a very personal story, but I don't mind sharing it because I think that mental health is something we should be really open about and something that we should work to reduce the stigma of. I have really bad depression. I've always dealt with mental health to some degree, but once I hit my 20s was when it really reared its ugly head. So I was living in New York City, completing an internship, which I can do a video about my internship experience and like how to apply for an internship if you guys are interested. Comment down below. But I was living in New York City, not last summer, but the summer before, and I was dealing with depression pretty hard. It was my first real like swing with depression, and it was my first real time since adolescence dealing with suicidal thoughts, and it was hard, you know. I woke up in the morning and I was like, I don't know what my purpose is here. I don't know why I'm around. I feel so bad all the time. Anyway, long story short, I started running to fight these urges, and it worked. I ran every morning. I would end up running 5-6 miles, something like that. I would run in Madison Square Park, which was right next to where I was living, which for those of you who are familiar with New York City geography is right next to the Flatiron Building. And I love that building. I think it's the prettiest building in the world. But when I was running, one morning I had pretty much, you know, made up my mind that suicide was the only way out. That's what I had thought. And I was having a really hard time, and I was running and thinking, and this was before work, so it was at like 6 a.m. or something. Right as the sun rose, it shone on this like little statue that's like place, you would almost miss it if you're looking at the Flatiron because there's so many other cool things about the Flatiron. But at the very top, there's this little statue, and it's two angels holding up a big shield. And the sun was only illuminating like that shield. And it took my breath away. I was like, that is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Ever. And I knew right then that there was a reason to stick around. You know, even if it was just to see the sunrise on your favorite building in your favorite city, there were reasons to stay. And so I got it tattooed on my stomach, so that every morning when I get up and I look in the mirror, or every time I look down or whatever, I'm reminded that there are reasons to stay. Life can be really beautiful. Life can really suck. I mean, it can really suck. Life can be really beautiful, and that there are a lot of reasons to stay. I can talk about logistics of that tattoo. This was the most painful experience I've ever had in my life. If you can see in the video that I showed, it goes right between my breasts, and then it's also over my sternum and my stomach and my internal organs down to about a quarter of an inch above my belly button. Maybe 3/4 of an inch above my belly button. It took about, I got to the shop at 10 a.m. I left around 2. I wasn't being tattooed the entire time. Part of it was like getting my stencil right and things like that, but I was tattooed for the large part of 3.5, 4 hours. Pain, scale of 1 to 10, my stomach, it was the most pain I've ever experienced, so I would say an 11. I mean, like it was brutal. Yeah, 11. I did almost pass out. I did have to stop and take some Gatorade. It was a very brutal session. Evan Desrosiers, I think I'm saying that right. He used to tattoo at Made to Last, but now he does his own thing. That was in Charlotte, North Carolina. I forgot to mention that Cuddy Badge, she works in Boone, North Carolina. She did my leg piece. She used to work at Speakeasy, but now she works at her own shop, Hollow Moon Tattoo. She's one of my favorite artists ever, so go check her out. I want so many more pieces by her, but I only have this one. Anyway, more work from her to come, I hope. Yeah, I think that's it about my tattoos. I can talk a little bit about my future tattoo plans, which is really exciting. I'm planning on short-term goals. I'm planning on getting my stomach piece added onto, and I'm also planning on getting my left thigh done. Long-term, I want a sleeve over my left arm. That would be really great, especially the lower half. I would really like that. Those are my future tattoo plans. I don't know what else is in the works, but those are the tattoos I have and their ratings and things like that. If you have any questions about those, comment below and I'll answer. So let's talk about piercings. I have several. Planning on getting more. Well, right now, short term, I only have one more in mind, but I would like to get more. Let's just go through them. So first, I have my earlobes done. I have 3 in each earlobe. I have my first, second, and third holes. So I used to have my cartilage done on this side, but I don't anymore. Those were the only piercings I had until I was like 14 or 15. And then I pierced my own second and third lobe holes. I went to Claire's to get the first one done, or it wasn't Claire's, it was like Piercing Pagoda then, in like whatever year, like 2001 or something, when I got my ears pierced. Anywhere that pierces with a gun, any part of your lobe or any part of you for that matter, I don't recommend. I recommend going to a professional piercing shop that will pierce you with a piercing needle and will not cause immense damage to your skin. So that's why I had to take my cartilage out on my right ear, is because there was just so much scar tissue from having it pierced with a gun at Claire's. So I do not recommend. I also do not recommend piercing your own things. I recently re-pierced my own second and third holes with like a sewing needle. It's a really good way to get infected. It's a really good way to cause scar tissue. It's a really good way to get them crooked. So my advice, don't pierce anything yourself. Go see someone. It's worth the money. It's worth all of that to not screw up your face forever. As far as pain goes, lobe piercings, like a 1 out of 10. Really, really easy stuff for me. So the next piercing I got was the right side of my nostril. Yeah. Yes, right side of my nostril. Got that done when I was 17. I was in high school. I begged my parents and begged my parents and begged my parents and begged my parents to let me get it done. And finally they let me go and I got this pierced. So I've had that since I was 17. Then I didn't have another piercing until I was 19 and I got the other side of my nose pierced. Let me show you my nose rings so you can see. So this is one side and this is the other. And just like in my ears, I just have some titanium studs, just plain. Nostril piercings. I had a lot more trouble with my left side than I did healing my right side. But as far as pain goes, I would say they're about a 4. Yeah, about a 4. This one was about a 6. It just hurt more initially, but also healing wise. They do make your eyes water on the side that you got pierced, just because there's a lot of nerves in your nose that connect to the nerves in your tear ducts and stuff. But overall, they're a pretty simple piercing. They're pretty straightforward. It's pretty much poke and go, and you just leave it alone. I had a great experience with mine. This one developed keloids, or like skin tag things, very easily for a while, but it was because the jewelry was too long and was sliding around in the piercing. So when I switched to a shorter length of stud in my nose, then a lot of my problems went away. The other piercings I want to talk about are, sorry mom and dad, this is super awkward that you're watching this and that you're learning about it this way, but I was 20 and I went through an awful breakup, one of the worst breakups of my life. I went through a horrible breakup and I had always wanted my nipples pierced. Always wanted my nipples pierced. I thought they were so cute and I was like, you know what, it will be just this thing that like I see and it makes me feel really confident and I just want them done really bad. And I was in this really low place after this breakup and I came home and told my roommate, I was like, my best friend, Sabrina, from Q&A video, watch it if you didn't. I said, I'm gonna pierce my nipples. And she was like, oh my god, are you sure? And I now, granted, vouch for me on this, friends that have known me for years. I've been talking about this since forever. I've always said, I want them done, I want them done, I want them done. I'm too scared, I'm too scared, I'm too scared. Well, at this point, I didn't have anything to lose because I was at this, you know, I just got out of breakup. Give me some slack. So I went, I made an appointment and I got my nipples pierced. I got both of them done. They have titanium in them. It's just like my nose and my ears. Sorry mom and dad, this is awkward and I hope you don't think it's too weird, but I was in a rough time. But I will say this, I've always felt really self-conscious about my chest. Lots of women have nice boobs, they have big boobs, and I just don't. I just am really small-chested. I'm maybe a B, maybe. So yeah, it made me feel really confident to get them pierced. It made me feel good, and even if nobody else sees them, I see them every day, and I love them. And they make me feel good about myself, and they make me feel like a badass, and that's what I needed during that time. That's what I need right now. So definitely a great decision. I love them. Do recommend. However, they do hurt. A lot of people ask, how bad do your nipple piercings hurt? Depends on the piercer, obviously, and their like amount of skill when it comes to that. But so I got both done. I'm right-handed. My left nipple really, it was like a 5. It was painful, but then it was whatever. So she tricked me. She said, okay, I'm gonna do your left one first. It's gonna be the hardest one. And I was like, okay, I'm ready for the hardest one. And so she did it and I was like, well, that was the hardest one? Oh my god, I'm fine. And so while I was like chatting about how easy that was, she did the right one, which was horrible. It was definitely like a 9 out of 10. And she said, sorry, I lied to you. I had to do that because otherwise you wouldn't have done the right one. Which, you know, I'm glad. I wouldn't have wanted to know that was coming. But overall, healing, not so bad. I slept on my stomach like the night after. And it's been fine ever since. I've never had any issues with them. They are a lot of upkeep. You have to keep them pretty clean. But other than that, they were fine. And they're my favorite piercings. I know I said that my nose rings are my favorite piercings in my last video. And they are. I do like having double nostril because I think they're really unique. But as far as what makes me feel great, I love my nipple rings too. So, as far as things that are coming down the pipeline in the future for piercings, in the very near future I'll be getting my belly button pierced with a little like eyebrow ring, I hope, like a titanium, just solid eyebrow ring, because I want it to be small and dainty but also match all of my other hardware. And yeah, that's the only piercing I have planned right now, but I'm also really into eyebrow rings. I don't know if I'll ever fully commit to that, but I do really like them, and I've been thinking about it for a while. So, maybe some ear piercings too, like a daith or a rook, or some cute things. Maybe my conch, like some cuties in my ear, because as you learned in my hair extensions video, I actually have really short hair. And so when I don't wear my extensions, which is never, but when I don't wear them, I like to show off my earrings. So, yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching the tattoo and piercing video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will catch you next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.